formative period of Islam is incredibly alive, both amongst Muslims and non-Muslims, because many think that that's where everything indeed started, which then explains how Muslims behave nowadays, or how Muslims should behave nowadays, if you look from a Muslim perspective. So actually the formative period of Islam in the earliest centuries are almost a battleground for fighting about things from nowadays. The formative centuries says it already. It's when Islam as a religion, as a culture, was being formed, was in the process of adjusting itself to new situations and continued to develop. Not that Islam didn't develop after that. I mean, it continues to. That process, of course, never stops. But there is a period of more rapid change and then a period of consolidation from the 9th century onwards. So the first 3 centuries, that's when things are really have become developed into shapes and forms and interpretations that have then consolidated and formed the basis of the Islam, if you want, that we recognize nowadays. The history of Islam is given as a smooth path by these later literary sources, these books written later on, 2 centuries after the things that happened. So, and that's the version that most people are familiar with from the Muslim side of things. Those books were written in cities by men from a high society, from a higher level in society. So they give a certain image of what was going on in society. And they don't necessarily tell us about how people lived Islam in their daily lives on a day-to-day basis. And that's where the papyri, because they are simply the written residue of daily life. They are the documents that record any aspect of daily life. But what I think is really important is that they are not written with the idea that we would read them. They're not written with the idea that scholars would read them. I'm not so much interested in Islam as something that exists outside of people, as it is in texts, in books, but I'm interested in how Islam functions inside people's head. So what they do with it.
I prove that Allah is God, Elijah Muhammad is a messenger, and I have faith in them, and regardless of the world and the pressure, I made it an easy night, because Allah has power of all things. If you believe in Him, nothing, even George Foreman, will look like a baby.
I think it's a human characteristic to kind of want to have smooth black and white pictures of anything, where it's clear. Clear images of what happened also of history. And what the papyri show us, which is closer to real life, is that what people did and how they interpreted rules and how they handled daily concerns and worries and mishappenings in their life changed and differed from place to place and from person to person and from period to period. So the papyri show us the diversity of this world and of the historical solutions to human problems and to human concerns. And so in that sense they give us a much more varied and much more grey and messy picture of history than what most people are used to.